Underdog Daily with Badge Bros, Jon and Nez. Sorry guys, a little late here. I got lost in the sauce of just my own thoughts. It's damning out here sometimes. But as you guys can see, wearing my TJ McConnell jersey. I'm very split on how to feel about this NBA Finals. I want my guy TJ to do work, but it doesn't feel like a good series for him. And I want my fellow countrymen SGA and Lou Dort to find their way to success. So I'm very torn on this one. We're gonna build out some pick'ems and stuff to go alongside that. Talk about the matchup that was. But first things first, my friend Nez, I got to say something here, dude. The puck guys are not getting enough love right now. That was a phenomenal game last night. That should have been front and center everywhere on the social medias. It should have been. It's beautiful, man. To get this, this is literally Cavs Warriors for puck guys right now. Third straight year Florida being in the finals, second straight year of this matchup. McDavid being kind of like the LeBron of this era in there. I mean, it's got all the makings. It's got all the makings. We need some more hype around this.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet on the digital streets as far as the hype for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The only major sporting, the only major championship on last night. Sorry, dude, I touch a wire and my camera goes off. Unbelievable, but yeah, it's a little shocking. No love for. I mean, it's McDust, man. The McDust thesis is out in full force. He's got to show us. He's got to show us. Got to show me something. Took game one on home ice. It's what you got to do. But yeah, no, not enough love for the Stanley Cup. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, phenomenal game. Watched that one start to finish last night. Just truly up tempo, back and forth. An amazing show of skill and definitely some sandpaper and some grit in there. So beautiful showcase for if you guys are not puck guys to be watching that, because it is something. It is something special right now. Hope we get 7 games again like we got last year. Nez, I got a couple things to start the show here. First and foremost, beautiful brand new single entry contest on the site there, the Greyhound for the football community. One bullet, fasts only, time box contest, $35 price point, beautiful structure. I love it, man. I love it. Any thoughts? Back macro.
No, I mean, we just love a single entry. Think that's a nice even playing field for everybody. What do we got for prizes here? 30K to first, 200K in prizes. That's always fun. Yeah, I mean, the single entries are just they're great contests, and I just think it's so funny though. Like I have to just point it out, man. Underdog launches a single entry fast only contest, and like the only thing in the replies on Twitter are like, "We need a schnauzer. Come on, where's when puppy 2?" Like, man, these guys, thankless job. Hope,
yeah,
Uni, and Brett. I tell you,
it is a thankless job sometimes, because no matter what they do, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So that's why we have to be the voices of reason in this community to sing the praises when we see these beautiful contests, regardless of price point, because like I love the structure of it, whether it was $15, $10, or $1,000, it looked really good.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. The Greyhound is a great contest every year.
Nez, I got a macro question that I just threw out into the ethos right now. Nobody's responding on the X machine there, but I had this thought in the Discord last night, and I got to ask you if it's better or if it's worse in terms of scoring period. I think it's a conversation we've had before, but I was just thinking about it in relation to all the playoff contests that are finishing up right now. Do you think it is better or worse to have scoring periods of an entire series, or scoring periods of game over game over game that get cumulatively added together?
That's an interesting thought. I never considered the potential dynamics there. For baseball and NBA, I feel like game by game accumulation could be the move for
I think
the
so
final
too.
for the final round. Yeah, that's a very interesting thought.
Because in my estimation, because I'm looking at all the rosters that are all in the finals and all this sort of stuff right now, and even in a 12-person final of the Big Zamboni, I know I'm boxed out. You know,
Mhm.
because I there's no way I can possibly score at the center plus flex position more than a team that I'm 1v1ing Draisaitl versus Brad Marchand or whatever. You know, like it's just like it's Jover, it's curtains, right? And this isn't like woe was me in that situation. It just got me thinking that doesn't it level the playing field a little bit and make the uniqueness and depth matter more if you can have those one-off games? Like think about the NBA Finals tonight. There's going to be a million and one teams that have Hallie plus Turner plus Siakam as like that three-man Pacers team. It's either going to be lineups that are stone dead with zeros, or there's going to be lineups that have only three Pacers through. And then if you're fortunate, maybe some lineups have like three Pacers and two OKC pieces, or maybe 3 and 3, something like that. But wouldn't it reward the mindset of just like tacking on that one-off piece that could score, have an outbreak game like Benny Math, in a 5-game series or something like that, where Benny
Mhm.
Math just cooks in one of those games and outscores Hallie, and he actually scores for you and actually matters, opposed to just being like, oh, Hallie's total points for the series still pushed him up further. So it didn't even
Yeah.
matter.
No, yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. I think I would, if I was to get like nitpicky about it, I think I would prefer it only for the finals, like
Okay.
only in like the final round. I think that's when it would make the most sense. Because there is that problem with playoff best ball when it comes to the with MLB, NHL, and NBA, where like the sweat is scraping the teams and seeing who you have to beat. Like
Right.
that is the sweat. That's it. Like it lasts a second. But if you do what you're saying, there anything can happen. Like you could get the like you said, like the legacy Benny Math game where like wow, like he put up 50 for that one game. Like now you kind of have to have that random 50 ball, as opposed to like, well, he's getting outscored by Alex Caruso over the course of a series anyway, so it doesn't matter, just as an example. Yeah, that's definitely something that I think that they should be considering implementing. It might be too difficult to be like, hey, only for the finals, and now that's a whole nother wrinkle to explain in the rules. It could get
Right.
confusing. But like, man, I do think that it would be a better product for fantasy baseball. And maybe you just have to do it for the entire tournament. I think if
Yeah.
that was like if you had to do it for the entire tournament, I would be like worth it, like
Mhm.
worth it to have that just for a better final sweat.
Yeah, now to play devil's advocate on my own take here, do you think that would introduce like no more game theory and it becomes way too much like stay in your lane onslaughty, where you would just be like, well, now I'm just playing Pacer this finals and I'm just playing all 10 Pacers.
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
because like
Yeah.
you're not getting to the finals by doing that. So
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. So
yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know. And maybe this is what Rudman was kind of like teasing and alluding to, that they have something in the works like this when they were talking about series long best ball or weekend long tournaments for golf or something like that. Because the golf one would be very interesting and could be different than redacted if you scored each individual round instead of cumulative for the weekend too, but you drafted for all four. So like there's different wrinkles in the way in which it scores that could change. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it's probably bad in a vacuum. I think you'd want to score for the entirety of the four rounds, but I don't know. I was just
Yeah.
thinking through it last night when I was watching the game, and then just thinking about the contest, and then I went and I kind of checked over the leaderboards and stuff, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm just destined for like third or fifth in this contest, like
No,
yeah,
no, I'm with you on this. I think it's a good idea. I didn't see
yeah.
this until just now.
Well, I put it in the Discord last night, but West Coast time at whatever 11 p.m. Nobody sees it, so then I just
Hmm.
shared it now. Um, yeah. All right, cool. Let's move on here. Let's talk about last night's winners and stuff like that, and then talk about game one of this series and what we think this series is going to look like. Obviously, no contests on our site outside of the cash games contest, but we can do some pick'em stuff, and we will do an extendor for the community. But first things first, with baseball last night, a very appropriate winning name here, Nez. Your boy was in first place. Looked like I was going to take it down until the 8th inning of the final game on the slate, where Pete Alonso broke the slate with his second home run. I had a truly gross and disgusting team, and I had the mental tweet all lined up, dude. You win the highest scoring slate of the year. How fitting. And John wins the lowest scoring slate. I think it was like 90 points or something like that. And it was all guys north of 30, whatever, ADPs. It was truly disgusting. It was so on brand, dude. It had Wenzel Perez in it, and it had Aranda and Lowe and Lau. It was gross, dude.
Man, that was a beauty. That was a real beauty. I hate that happened to you, but such is the game. Such is the game.
Oh well. I wasn't even live sweating anyway, so it was all good. Here we go, dude. A living up to his name. Shout out to Whack-A-Mole, who literally whacks a mole on 5 one-offs here. Oh no, he had the skinny stack of the Mets. So the 2-1-1, we'll forgive him. Something I talked about on the show yesterday, Nez, that this slate, in my estimation, set up really well for 2-1-1s and 3-1-1. Just the way that runs were going to be distributed and the size of the slate and that sort of thing. And it did come to fruition. Pitcher didn't end up mattering. I was firmly off the Shane Baz train, and I was firmly off that middle tier of pitching. I was all the way up at the top, or I was able or scrolling at the bottom there. Mets mini here. Ryan Jeffers from that Minnesota game that a lot of people were loading up on. Both the birthday boy narratives of 2 days ago with Harrison Bader and Ryan Jeffers, both being their birthday, both being lefty killers, going up a lefty. They just postponed it one day and both homered yesterday instead there. So, thoughts on the team, thoughts on the slate, dude?
Yeah, I probably who did you swap for? Was this Correa?
I imagine it was a one-off Correa. Yeah, Correa was a late scratch in that one.
Yep. Yeah, this is a gross slate. I didn't have time to play it with any sort of nuance or anything. I just saw Emerson Hancock on the slate and loaded up on the Orioles, and the Orioles are just down worse than I ever could have imagined. And I fully bricked the main slate, so no money back for me whatsoever on that one.
If you're gonna play low volume and you want to take a contrarian stance and a contrarian angle to give yourself a scoop, I mean that's the way in which you do it. You go where nobody else was daring to go.
Yeah, and no one was close to getting there. So interesting slate. Nice team from Whack-A-Mole. Great name. Sorry about your loss, John.
No, it's all good. It got me. I'm kind of in lockstep here. Never 2-1-1, but there's certain slate sizes that it plays better for, and it's kind of counterintuitive that the data suggests it plays better on these bigger ones because of the power of one-off home runs and the player pool that you can get with exposure to get multiple home run hitters, opposed to those condensed slates. Ricky Lee bringing up a crazy one from last night. Pivetta was mowing 60 pitches, 5 innings pitched, 5 Ks, 0 earned runs, and then 80 pitches, 5.1, 5 Ks, 6 earned runs. So Pivetta was mowing until that last little bit there, a game in which we were really harping, or I was really harping on getting to with pitching there. All right, dude. Anything else to say? There's some friends and family at the top here. Vin Deep was up there for a long time. No Bo Sox gets 2 up there. Nah, Ricky. Shout out to Nah Ricky who's hanging out in the chat. T-Box, Inthreus, Dog Bowl legend. Man, friends and family. Chris trying to defend last night's crown, still gets a top 10. So, anything else?
No.
All right, cool. Actually, I got to give a shout out. Someone in the YouTube comments, Joe, if you're here, Joe's a member. Joe's in the chat somewhere. Said he took down the triple play. So shout out to Joe. I don't have access to that leaderboard, but mad respect, bro. Okay, Nez, we are going to go back and forth between Unabated and the Pick'em lobbies here, and just give a little brief synopsis. Just do a brief little segment, obviously with no contests on our site. Just what you think of the series upcoming. Beautiful Unabated interface has the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight as 9.5-point favorites at home. This is a 230 total, pretty high total for an NBA Finals game. Kind of dope there just to see in general. Yeah, just macro thoughts here on the matchup, macro thoughts on how you think the series will unfold, etc.
Yeah, 9.5 spread for OKC. Doesn't feel big enough, but it's game one. I fully expect the Thunder to come out here and smack up the Pacers game one. They just I just don't know how the Pacers are going to be able to hold a candle to the Thunder here. Just don't know how that'll happen. I think the one thing that I'm thinking about though, as far as like pick'ems go, is getting to the Oklahoma City bench for hires in case they run deep like the Knicks did, and those guys get more run. Potentially some nice hires on that angle if they end up getting some more run because of the Pacers' pace.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I like that. I mean, we know Thunder play decently fast in their own right, but obviously not at the breakneck speed at which the Pacers play. I do think, like, just from stylistically, I think it'd be in Oklahoma City's favor to play a bit bigger and a bit slower. I think they don't want to give up. Like, they have the best transition defense, and they have some of the best rotations in baseball, or in basketball,
Whoa.
in terms of on ball defenders, and like giving up those corner threes in lieu of protecting the middle of the paint and that sort of thing. I think it's going to work really well in their favor if they can play double big lineup. But there's mixed opinions on it right now. Smart people saying some people think they're going to play, Chet and Hartenstein alongside each other. Some people think they're going to kind of do what they did in the previous series, where Hartenstein takes a little bit of a back seat and they do some more Chet at the 5 and play these smaller lineups. What do you think you would do? If you were either side here?
I would think the Thunder play a little small.
You want them to play small? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they would go like I don't know what would necessitate from Indiana for them to play double big unless they force them to or something, like as in Oklahoma City was like, hey, we're going to put out 2 bigs, like you need to deal with it. But that just doesn't seem like the right matchup for them to play a bunch of Hartenstein and Chet together. That was just like my initial thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be way more small ball.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is why I mean mixed reviews, because I'm kind of in the camp of you play a little bit bigger. Like, I'm kind of in the camp of like you do the opposite of what you did against Joker. So what you did against Joker was you used Hartenstein as kind of like the Joker stopper, and then you used Chet as kind of like the help side guy, and then you can switch that high side screen over and over and over again with Caruso and Dort playing off of it, right? So I think in this series, with Hallie as the dominant ball handler there, or Siakam using some of that roll action, that you would want Chet on Turner, and then you would want to then force big help side of Hartenstein, and Hartenstein works off Siakam.
I mean, you can't necessarily help off Siakam. He's like their number 2 scorer.
Yeah, but he scores so much in the paint that like you want to defend that. No. I'm suggesting that Chet helps off of Turner. Did I miss? Chet helps off of Turner, so Turner can be like the stretch 5. So you need the athletic guy on Chet, or Chet on Turner like that, and then he's the help side guy on Siakam a bit.
And
then
they might. I mean, they might. It's definitely not what I was initially thinking when it comes to how they would play.
I think conventional wisdom would suggest you put Dort on him, right? You play small.
I would think so.
Yeah, you play small. You put Dort on Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
You then play some combination of Cason Wallace, SGA, and Caruso against the Nemhards, Naismiths, and Hallies, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're so good defensively, man. It's like they don't like the Pacers, it's just going to be really tough for the Pacers. Like I don't know what the Pacers attack is offensively here, other than just like, holy shit, I hope we never have to play half court basketball ever.
Mhm.
Like, because if they do, yeah, they're kind of fucked.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get like some unconscious 3-point shooting, but they're not gonna have the same open looks in which they had against the Knicks last series, right? Um, so
Mm-hmm.
there's that. And then I think like, they're just so good at defending the rim when they have two bigs out there is like my thought process is the only reason the Pacers were able to have such good offensive success last series was they were getting nah waved to the rim. And like Hallie was driving, which Hallie isn't really prone to do and hasn't done a ton all season long until the like playoffs basically. And I think
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of like want to prevent that from happening because that's when things break down. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, they could surprise me. They could surprise me.
Mhm.
It's going to take a strong defensive effort from the Pacers
Yeah.
to make this a series for sure.
Yeah. Emwald hitting in the chat here. It does feel like a bad series for my guy. It does feel like a bad series for TJ McConnell, where he's like, he doesn't shoot the three very well. They'll be happy to just play off of him when he's out there. And then when he goes to the rim, it's kind of like, ooh, I don't know.
And he has no celebrities to chirp courtside. Who's going to chirp Booker with Trent? Like, just give him a wink, give him a couple finger guns.
Nice, nice. Um, this is good here. Ricky Lee saying Naismith's going to average 6 threes a game and probably still lose. Like they're just going to have lots of open corner threes. Yeah,
Well,
that's a good
that's Miles
shout.
Turner's music.
Yeah, but Miles Turner shoots so many of them from the top. He's less of like the corner guy. Like he shoots them when they sag off in like the high side screen and roll stuff. He's like less of the corner guy. The corner guys are like Naismith, Nemhard, Shepard off the bench, and Toppin off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting series, man. If you got to put on your talk radio, dunce cap here, what do you think, dude? Can you give the Pacers a fighting chance? 6 games, 7 games, anything like that, or no?
I think 6 games max for Indiana. I'm definitely Thunder in 4 though.
Yeah, mentally I'm Thunder in 4 too, but Thunder in 5. Thunder in 5 would probably be like the safest notion, right? Like that's where I would be at. But hey, it's basketball. Anything can happen. Yeah, curious to see. But
Yeah.
it's far less intriguing to me than the Stanley Cup Finals right now.
Oh, 100%. There's way more ambiguity with hockey right now.
Oh yeah. Let me take a look at see if we got some projections out from Unabated yet. Yeah, they did. They released at 10:30, I guess. So yeah, let's take a little look here with the Edge tool and see if we are cooking up anything in the pick'em lobbies here. I might have to X out some games here because I didn't select the sport. There we go. Instead of clicking that nice, easy select none button, I just clicked all the X's for you guys. Showing some lowers on Thomas Bryant stuff right now. Oh, let me.
I don't think they have their projections up yet. I thought it said
Okay.
130.
Okay. It says it's got an initial run, but maybe they're just getting it ready for 2 minutes from now. So maybe we'll double back on that for a second. So let's wait 2 minutes to see what they got there. Nez, I gotta share with the people in the lobby. Some people got some NBA gimme picks. Some people got an SGA one on. I think it's only on mobile. Free Square SGA one. Or maybe there was a time limit to it this morning. So
yeah, I got that one.
Okay. Just check your prize boxes there because there's an SGA freebie. There's obviously the extender that we're going to start. And then there's I guess this is probably just the gimme pick right here, just rebranded on my screen.
Yeah, I would guess.
Okay, cool. All right, Nez, let's build one from the heart. right now. You said some of those OKC bench pieces were tickling your fancy in the hopes that they play fast and play longer in the rotation.
Yeah.
Anyone in particular interesting you?
Um, let's see here. There, I mean, like Caruso, kind of at least just like maybe like with the pace. Like I think Caruso is interesting. Or even like does Isaiah Joe play? Play more than 5 minutes?
I like the
And
Isaiah Joe show.
yeah, I think he's one. Like he has a bunch of point 8x multipliers, which like I would prefer they were just like straight ones. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's some like I mean you could do like points and assists for Isaiah Joe. That's 3.5. That's where my mind immediately went to when like I thought about how to play this series via pick'ems.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that shout there. I kind of like doing it breaks my heart. I'm wearing his jersey. Shout out to my guy Michael Cole for stealing my stick on Monday Night Raw there. Rolling through Tulsa, Oklahoma wearing an OKC or wearing a TJ McConnell jersey, but I respect it. I respect his game. I think we got to hit the lower on him, man. I'm really drinking the Kool-Aid of what M. Wald was saying in the chat there about, he can't shoot the three. They want to give up corner threes, and getting to the rim against a team that's the best at protecting the rim feels bad for a guy who doesn't like to go up when he gets there either.
Yeah, what do we got for him?
I
It's
got
13 and a
PRA.
half. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I got PRA lower there. It breaks my heart, dude, but I think it feels right. I do think that something that positively correlates with that a little bit would be some Benny Math love. But I also do like some potential Naismith threes love as well. What do you like?
Man, I'm for sure. I mean, unrelated to those suggestions. I mean, I'm Hallie lowers for sure.
Your Hallie lowers?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no question.
Okay. I like it. Do we have Hallie turnovers? The guy hasn't turned over the ball since Nam. And 2.5.
2.5.
Wow, that's quite a few for a guy like Hallie. That's a testament to how good the OKC defense is. Wow.
Yeah, I think his
Um,
last game out he had more than usual.
okay.
Yeah, he had 4 in the last game with the Knicks.
Interesting. What of the lower variety do you prefer?
I I'm between like points and PRA.
Okay. Um, let's do points. Let's do
Yeah,
points.
because here's my thought.
Okay.
Points, if points goes higher,
Yep.
like is PRA like a lock? I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I
like
don't
I'm
know.
trying to think like what's the better lower. I think you're right. I think points, man. I think points. I feel like they both. I feel like it's like a damn near like 1.0 R squared on points and PRA going higher for Hallie. So
Yeah.
let's just go points.
Okay. Let's go points. Let's go points. Mike's in the chat telling us Jada PRA seems high.
Dude, all of the Thunder seem to have like mega inflated projections in my opinion, but I'm too scared to take their lowers. But like we've never seen Shea 33 and a half in the playoffs. This is the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What does J Dub stuff look like?
33 and a half on the PRA,
I
22
mean,
and a half
he's
on the
like a
points.
he's like a 31, 32 and a half guy. I don't think that 33 and a half is anything to fade. I think if you were to fade J Dub, I'd probably go lower on his points, but I don't really like doing that. But I think that's what I would do with J Dub.
Okay.
But I don't want to. I'm just kind of responding to a comment more than anything.
Okay. So what else would you want to add to this? Or do you want to run 3 and then make another one? Because we can make a couple here.
I like this one for a core.
Okay. All right. Do you want to use it as the extendor, or do we want to make it a bit bigger for the extendor? I think we do it, man.
Yeah. Let's do the promo. Let's hit the promo. Let's get a dog app tweet about us. Like let's hit this.
Yeah, let's do. Okay. So 100 gets us 869.99. That's a good omen, dude. That's a good omen. Okay. Isaiah Joe higher on the points and assists. TJ McConnell on the lower PRA. That's 13.5. Lower on the Tyrese Halliburton, 17.5 points. I mean, he's going to have to shoot like 5 threes from the logo to get there. There's no way this Bambi, goofy looking motherfucker is getting to the rim out here.
Wow, that is. I don't think I've ever heard him described as Bambi.
He's so gangly looking. Like
no,
he's so,
no, you're. I think you're absolutely right. Like
if he was on skates, his knees would just go in and he'd just fall in half. He'd fall over.
That's so awesome.
All right. Hallie on the lower points there. We do have Unabated's projections now.
Okay.
They're showing an edge boost to the SGA lower steals, but that is, as we always talk about, evergreen reminder that like the volatility of like 0.5s and 1.5 event-based outcomes like that are like pretty extreme. But we're showing a little bit of a higher on the Miles Turner 3-pointer made, which fits our narrative. They like Siakam points and assists higher, but just like fractionally. All these margins, guys, for games like this, where the lines are, the props and the pick'ems are so strong because they've had a week to vet them out. The edges that we're seeing are like 5%, 2%, right? They like the Aaron Naismith rebounds and assists number. That's the second highest one popping for them. So we could do a straight unabated one here, Nez, and just like play their 3 highest plays right now. But the edges aren't like profound. But I will show you. They got a lower on the steals there for SGA. They got a higher on the Naismith points and assists, which is, I miss him. Naismith, rebounds and assists, the 5-5 here. Apologies. On the rebounds and assists there. And then a Chet lower, but it's like fractions of points. The Siakam higher is better than the Chet lower. Although I hate the matchup for Siakam, but maybe it's just a volume-based thing here. And it does fit the narrative of our previous one there. So we could do another little core here. Oh, my extender's here because I didn't. Okay, got it. And then we can add the gimme pick. Oh, it is SGA, so we can't use SGA steals. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you'd have to do a separate one for that.
Okay, I'm going to run it twice. So I'm going to use the gimme pick here for... Nah, you know what? We're just going to run the SGA steals. And we'll save the gimme pick for shooting the moon.
Okay. That's a good call.
SGA steals on the lower. Naismith on the rebounds and assists. Siakam on the points higher. Another 6.5xer there. 50 gets us 325. Put that one. There we go. All right. Andrew's going with day 3 martingale, the Jack Caglione home run. Yeah. Okay, I could see there. Gil was talking aggressive about Cat last night.
Oh, did you not see this clip that's going around?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Talking about Cat's hips.
Not swiveling or what?
No, he said he's built like a woman and he has lady hips.
Lady hips. Oh
Getting
man,
a lot of good reception, as you could imagine.
Gil's got the Shooting Guard out on Netflix now too. That popped up on my feed yesterday.
Oh yeah. That's a good doc. That's a really good doc.
Oh, you watched?
It's very sad, but
Oh,
it's very good.
okay, cool. I'll check that out. Um, yeah, who just mentioned the other one in the chat there? The All Canada narrative out here.
Oh,
Getting
that's
some
a
of
fun one.
that Benny math on SGA and Lou Dort. Some good Canadian kids out here.
Let's
Namar.
do one more, and then and then do the rest of the show, just because
Mm-hmm.
we're pushing over the limit on this segment.
The threshold. Okay. We could do the last gimme one here because we did the extender and then we did the unabated one. And now we can do a gimme one from the heart.
Okay.
So we're going to add SGA. So SGA can't be used in it.
Mm-mm.
Dude, I think we double down on this notion of Hallie and we go lower on the fantasy points.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy point lower is like the move.
That one feels good. What about then Naismith and Miles Turner threes?
I did see that Unabated really likes Miles Turner. I think stocks, was it maybe?
Okay.
No, I actually.
I'm seeing Miles Turner threes as an edge.
Okay. Yeah, they clearly just like Miles Turner in general.
Feels good. Use Miles Turner's threes. And then we could use like Caruso assists or something like that for Caruso because you like the bench stuff.
And then Nick threw out Chet points. I think Chet points is a good one.
Okay. I'm good with it. Unabated has it like perfect on the number.
Yeah. Just the way he
Okay.
was killing the Knicks, I'm like, man, he's probably going to do the same thing here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Caruso assists or Naismith threes. We already have Miles Turner threes in here, though.
Caruso dimes.
Do you like the dimes the most for Caruso, or do you like another stat?
I think I probably prefer points if you're going to ask me that.
Points?
I think so.
All right, let's do it. Okay, we got the gimme with SGA. We got Hallie lower because never Hallie. We got Miles Turner, which is stamp of approval from the good people at Unabated there, although it is a volatile one because it's just 3-pointers. And then we got Chet and Caruso from the heart, from you boys. 50 gets us 1050. That's fun. All right, that's 3 there. And not to reopen old wounds here, but Blake's rolling through. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did the NHL pick him last night miss because Skinner hit the saves higher in overtime? It's true. It's true, Blake. We had a 16.5x in the bag, and we just had to go and add your saves to it. And that 30x then fell flat on its face. But if you use the flex, we still got it home. But Nez, I came out here and I told a story and I nailed all the first goal scorers for Florida, bro.
Never Blake, man. Never Blake.
It was his birthday, man. I had to give him some love.
Oh, damn. Happy belated, Blake.
All right, cool. Nez, that's pretty good there. I was gonna ask you while we jump into some of the baseball stuff here, if you had any leans on the Daytime Diamond there. Daytime Diamond finished or filled like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes early. Or I mean 30, 40 minutes early there. So good to see some volume in those streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really like how Underdog broke up the slates today. I thought it was very sharp.
Yeah, for sure. 25K should fill pretty nicely with the 5-game slate here. So yeah, good to get the full rake so we can maybe do something nasty for Friday. Maybe do a little 40K Friday. Something
Ooh.
nice. But we got to earn it. We got to earn it. Yeah, for the daytime diamond, I only did 12 drafts, and I went pretty heavy Twins, Phillies, and once I got the Tigers lineup out, I tried to build those Tigers, but I only did 12. I was busy babysitting this morning, so excuse me, I didn't have time to actually make my picks. I was thoughtfully auto drafting.
Cool. Yeah, no, yeah, I think the Twins hitting environment looked really good for the third day in a row. Kind of happy we could talk through a main slate here that does not involve the Twins because, yeah, I saw the same thing that you did there, Nez, with the Twins looking kind of nice. Yeah, happy to see them break up the slate this way by missing those two first games so that we can then have the extra 8 innings worth of time to draft and then still have a nice size slate. So we had a 6-game slate in the morning there, and we got a 5-game slate in the evening here. Nez's Pirates finally making it back to a main slate. Cubs on this one with a Kyle Tucker Q tag after sitting out yesterday. Yeah, that's all I had there. We got Yankees with some nice weather there versus Slade Ciccone, who was the prize acquisition in their trade with Josh Naylor. We got this Rays narrative to run back from yesterday with a slightly worse environment there. And then we got the second half of the doubleheader that was rained out yesterday with this Cardinals and Royals here. So we can work off of the lineups that are out this morning and make some educated guesses on which catchers will miss and that sort of deal. Macro of the slate, Nez, we're dealing with some pretty flat totals across the board here with the 7.5, the 9.5, the 8.5, 8.5, and 7. So I guess kind of like 3 outlier games and then 2 pitching games in parentheses, according to the standardized unabated lines. But once we get into the implied team totals, that'll shift a little bit.
Yeah. Like you said, kind of flatter here. Excited to take a good look at my Nationals today. They're going up against Drew Pomeranz, but I don't necessarily. I don't know. Am I wrong to get excited about the Nationals today?
Oh.
It's a lefty, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely get excited about him. Drew Pomeranz has a old throwback name. He hasn't been around in a minute.
I know. So yeah, I want to get to them, but I am worried that it is a lefty on the mound for them. And then Royals. We get the Royal. Do we get the Royals on our slate? Since it's a doubleheader.
Yep.
Yeah, they're those righties against Matthew Liberatore. I'm never Matthew Lib, so definitely looking toward my Royals in that one.
Yeah. Okay, cool that you hit on a bunch of stuff like that. I'm seeing Drew Pomeranz as primarily an opener there, Nez. So I do think I don't know how deep he'll go into the ball game because they have Colin Rea behind as well.
Okay.
So I mean, neutralize the lefties because that lineup is basically all left-handed for at least the first go round. If it goes nice, maybe he stays a second inning or something like that. But yeah, I'm seeing Colin Rea come in behind, which would be feasting grounds for 9 lefties.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if they'll just play the lefties. Sometimes you see that. Sometimes you don't. Like the openers just put out really goofy lineups. But man, I want to believe. We're gonna get the onslaught of lefties that I want to play so badly.
Yeah, I think we will. There's the tail of the tape from Ballpark Pal and those S words that they run over there is completely different than when we're just looking at these run totals here, where it shows those games are only 1 run different and that sort of thing. They are showing an absolute monster popping in Yankees, Steinbrenner, and Nationals Park for power today and hitting conditions. And then they're showing if we even went for the entirety of the full day there, they're showing the worst hitting conditions on the slate, PNC and Oracle Park, aka AT&T, as by far the worst there. So that's just interesting. Obviously that Oracle Park was on the previous game, but they're showing, or on the previous slate, but they're showing that those two are, almost hand in hand there. So if you were treating the first slate as like we're only playing pitching from here, I think it kind of alludes to treating the second slate as only using pitching from there too,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Yeah, interesting stuff there because these hitting conditions, according to them, look really good. In like, look at how many home runs they're forecasting in their S words in these spots. Like those are some slate breaking numbers there. Yeah, if you look other places for run totals, not as extreme offensively. Looking at Cardi in particular, probably not as extreme. Looking at Roto Grinders, still in the neighborhood of like fives for like the Yankees and the Cubs in particular, but everybody else is kind of in the fours or high threes. So not as extreme. So just kind of vetting your resources and being mindful of what's taking place everywhere, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's move back to the site here. We should start with starting pitcher on this slate here because it will be a driving force. The aforementioned game with the pitching environment that we like has Frammer at number 1 there, and that makes sense. Also, the fact that it's lefty-lefty, so lefty-lefty versus Cruz, and flipping over Brian Reynolds doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt there. And Max Fried. He's been pitching really well outside of the one start at Dodger Stadium, but it was the Dodgers there. And then Cole Reagans making his return in the second half of the doubleheader here, a guy that we were taking in top 5 SPs of the dinger there, but don't know how long a leash he'll have tonight. So yeah, just talking through these kind of first 3 on the slate. Are there clear, definable tier breaks for you? Are these your first 3?
Yeah, definitely. From number SP1, without a doubt, SP1 today. Getting the Pirates on their bad side, as a lefty is definitely what you want, and he's been going really well lately as well. Looks like at least 5 straight quality starts for him. Yeah, he's SP1. He's my 102 today easily.
Cool. So you got Judge as 1 and then Frammer as 2?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I respect it. I mean, K rate always leaves a little something to be desired with him, but it's still higher than everybody else on the slate outside of Cole Reagans, and we don't know how long Cole Reagans is going to go in that game. I mean, Slade Ciccone, you can make the argument that his K rate maybe over the entirety of the season will be higher. It is higher right now in his limited sample, but they're kind of like neck and neck there. Yeah, man, he is just a quality start machine, and he gets a plus matchup here. I think he's led the league in quality starts each of the last 2 years. Just truly a unsung hero workhorse for the front end of that staff.
Yeah, and then Fried SP2 for me.
Yep.
As to go in next, like getting another team that's weak against lefties, the Guardians. So that's really, really positive for Fried. He's my 103 today. I definitely want to get one of those 2 pitchers if I can help it in Valdez or Fried. I think that they are a strong tier above everybody else today.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on the Frammer one for sure. The Fried one scares me a little bit more just because it's like north of 80 degrees or north of almost 90 degrees, like high 80s there. And they could run out a lineup with like all these righties in it, outside of Steven Kwan at the top, who's like, okay, but you get the switch hitters in Martinez, who homered yesterday, and Jose Ramirez, who's going nice right now. David Fry's a lefty killer. He'll be in there. Santana, has historically been okay from the right-hand side there. Yeah, I don't know.
I know, but like, I don't, I guess my counterpoint would be like, those guys suck.
Yeah,
and and Max Fried is like kind of has like pretty decent reverse splits.
Okay. Cool. Nice. Yeah.
That'd be the counter, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cole Reagans is the next one there. I think Cole Reagans, you could make a case for being, up almost as high as SP1 on this slate if we knew he was going to be full stretch. What are you
Yeah.
anticipating today from him?
Not full stretch in the slightest.
Yeah.
With the groin, I do have concerns about that. I don't think the Cardinals are a pushover either offensively, so they could run up the pitch count on Reagans potentially. I do not feel good about his ability to nab a quality start today.
Yeah,
So
man, I'm in agreement with you there. In my mental model, because I was drafting the daytime diamond prior to this, I was thinking I would pull up Keller here for that righty versus righty loaded lineup with the Astros in a bad park, and I was going to be playing more Keller than Reagans today.
100%. I'll have a ton of Mitch Keller if I don't get a lot of Max Fried today.
Okay.
Awesome park to pitch in. He's in good form. Like you mentioned, a shit ton of righties for the Astros. Just not a lot of win equity, but definitely quality start equity for sure for Mitch Keller.
Yeah. And then now we get to some decent hitting conditions where we probably will want to stay away from arms, that being Jack Leiter and Jake Irving, kind of like that bottom tier that I'm just not going to touch today. Do you feel similar there?
Yeah. I mean, these are two decent pitchers, but like, yeah, I fully agree that like it doesn't feel good to get to either of those two in their in their environment. But they're not bad options.
Okay.
Right now, in my opinion, they're not. It's not like fuck, like I got left with Leiter or Pepio. Or I'm sorry, I'm talking Pepio with Leiter. Sorry, I was talking about that game in general. But Leiter's at or Pepio's ADP 17, I guess. So that's not
I
a
was
factor here.
Yeah, I was
Irving,
just like skipping that tier for a second. I skipped a tier there for a second.
Yeah. No way, Jake Irvin. No way.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be bats for me on those ones there, and then that leaves you with Matthew Liberatore, who hopefully gets a watered down version of the lineup in the second game, and then Ryan Pepio, who was a Stuff Plus darling for our guy Eno, and has had some nice starts in recent memory in limiting hard contact mainly. But yeah, thoughts on those two then versus is it just kind of like, oh, I'm left with them, it's fine?
Yeah, I think so. Like the run total is low enough that you can just like take Matthew Lib and live with it. Just because he does have so much soft contact in his profile, I just have never been like a big fan of his. But he's an absolutely fine. Like okay, yeah, SB6 Matthew Lib, come on down.
Okay. Would you rather play those two or scroll all the way the F down to Slade?
No, I'd rather play probably. I mean, Lib or Pepio. Like, I'm surprised Pepio's SP 17, ADP 17. That's crazy. Like I'm only taking Pepio in the last round. And I'd rather take probably Matthew Liberatore over him. So
okay. Yeah, like Liberatore's a big ground ball guy. He neutralizes both Jack and Vinny P being left-handed. There, I mean, the hard hit rates for both Pepio and Liberatore are like basically the same, like 34%. But he induces so much ground ball stuff. Like that's his calling card. Although, wow, not as high as I remember. Ground ball percentage 42.4%. That's not as high as I remember. Like the
good.
The truly elite guys like Frommer and stuff like that is 58.5. Like they're pushing 60 territory. So he's
versus lefties. It looks pretty strong.
Okay. Nice. Good splits out there. Yeah, I mean, long story short here. Oh, and then also with like the I don't think you have to play them on our site, but like the Pomerantz versus like Colin Ray, I think I'd rather play Colin Ray, but I don't think I'm going to.
No way.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's pretty good synopsis there. like break glass in case of emergency where pitcher doesn't matter on the slate will be Liberatore and Ryan Pepio. We're a little down on Ragans because of how much we think or how deep he's going to go. And to be honest, he wasn't amazing before he went on the IL either. Like the strikeout rate was there, but not to the same level of last season there. And hey, maybe he was just dealing with the groin thing. Keller's in a really good spot. We really like him. Frammer's in an amazing spot. Really like him. And then Max Fried deserves to be in this upper echelon tier for sure as well. So ranking it as such, if you want to get super cheeky and go for the double bubble leverage because of the K upside, Slate Sacconi's your scroll the F down, but it's unnecessarily thin. But I will give it credence on a shorter slate than on a full slate. All right, Nez. The chalk stacks are going to be Cubs, they are going to be Yankees, and they are going to be Nationals, I guess, in particular James Wood, but Nationals as well. Me likes the Rays again because the Rays are always underpriced in that ballpark, and it looks really good for hitting. And I played a shit ton of Rays yesterday, and it worked out fine and almost won. I'll be playing Rays again. I'm not a believer in Jack Leiter. Yeah, that's what I got right now in terms of scroll stuff. How about you?
Yeah. Rays look really good to me as well, just given their ADPs. I mean, Brandon Lau, ADP 18, Josh Lowe, ADP 20. And then like easily stacked if you want to stack like around there, if you want to throw in, Meisner, Aranda, you can do that. Leiter does have some decent results this season, in his small little sample whenever he's been healthy. But I just can't get his 2024 out of my head and how bad he was. And man, it just feels like the margins are slim for him to, get rocked here. Bit of a fly ball problem, bit of a hard hit problem. So I think he's just kind of running a little pure right now. I'm with you, man. I think the Rays look pretty good today, given their ADPs.
Yeah, likewise, man. It's going to be tough to get different on a slate of this size especially when it's like so polarizing that like the good pitching environment is literally PNC. And then the next 4 games, it's like you get 2 lefties in the second game of a doubleheader. We could see how the bullpens play this morning, but in the second game of a doubleheader in a park that's been so effing tough for power this year. It's actually been the second worst park in all of baseball for power. That Cardinals game, I know that exploded on whatever Tuesday slate or Monday slate here, but you have like 2 good left-handed arms in that one, which neutralized some of the bats there. It's just, yeah, it really seems like if you want Cardinals righties for contrarian sake and you want to stack like them, I guess, but like it really feels like stars and scrubs at both the pitching and at the hitting, and they perfectly tether to one another. So it's a game theory driven slate where it's like if I'm stacking, doing like a 2-man Astros, like I don't necessarily believe in it. I'm just doing it because nobody else is doing it.
Right. It's strictly a leverage play.
Yeah.
If you're going that route, like 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's, everyone's going to like the same bats today. So I think maybe the best way to go about is trying to build contrarian stacks in the good stacks, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if everyone's playing Rays and they're just going like Low, Lau, Aranda over and over and over again, that you're the guy who scrolls to Misner, as you said. Or if everybody's playing, Seager in their Rangers stacks, that you're the guy who goes, all right, maybe it's Jake Berger, even though he doesn't have the handedness advantage, and Adolis Garcia get off the Schneid day, and you do a skinny stack with them or something like this, right?
Ooh, man, Adolis Garcia off the Schneid game requires cojones that I do not have.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gal braining ways to get different because the same combos are going to be repeated over and over and over again.
100%.
Yeah, everybody's seeing this slate the exact same way, basically, is a long-winded way of saying, yeah, we can just hop in, see what it looks like, try and build out some fun stuff on the fly here. I guess we didn't talk about the Kyle Tucker thing. I haven't seen any good nuggets on it at all. I have no idea if he's playing baseball today. I'm just hoping for an early lineup. The only lineup which we have received yet is the Nationals, and it literally just came out, and
Yeah.
it is littered with lefties and switch hitters outside of Ahmed Rosario, who is going to be hitting second today. So if you want a little bit of leverage right now in building out those stacks, but there is some pinch hit risk for him because he's playing third today, that he could just come out after the lefty's out kind of thing. That being said, I think he gets probably at least 2 ABs out of this.
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would stick around.
Yeah. Interesting to note, Alex Call is in the lineup for them, which is a guy that you traditionally wouldn't project in their starting lineup only against lefties. So, yeah.
Oh, dude, this Braves D-backs game is crazy.
What happened?
The Braves were up 10-4 in the top of the ninth. It's now 11-10. I told you every Arizona Diamondbacks game is straight out of fucking Cuckooville. It's fucking crazy. Every single Diamondbacks game is like this.
They're the Seattle Seahawks of the MLB. They've never played a normal game before.
It's like they're like the Seahawks on crack, man. This is crazy.
When we had that conversation, somebody else said in the chat that day that they'll literally score no runs, and then they'll score 5. They'll score 5 in the first, then they'll score no runs, and then they'll score 10 in the ninth or something. And that's just like how they do it every single time. And yeah, nothing truer than that right now.
Insane, man. Insane. I give me just one quick second while you enter this draft.
Yep. Jumping in right now. Daytime Diamond has started. White Sox and Tigers are 0-0 in the third there. So nothing interesting happening on the Daytime Diamond yet. One more to join the baseball drafts. Guys, we got like 130 of us hanging out. If you're on the X side, roll on over to the YouTube side, please and thank you. I know there's a ton of other stuff going on right now. I think Pete was live and Davis was live, and there's ADP chasing coming up, or ship chasing actually. So I know you guys have split attention, so appreciate you taking the time to be here. Hit it with a little like, subscribe, notification, all that fun stuff, please and thank you. It's tedious, but it's necessary. All right, let's go. Who wants to draft? One more. All my friends are shook right now. Do this. Purple Yosh couldn't agree more. Baseball is king this time of year. Absolutely. I imagine Nez is going to want me to start with Aaron Judge today. It looks like a great hitting environment. It also looks like a great home run hitting environment in general. I mean, Ballpark Pal has home runs for the Yankees projected the highest on the slate here. Feels great. Feels good.
Do you know what Aaron Judge multipliers to homer today?
1.38.
Oh, they just took it down because of they had the lineups out, so they have to refresh. Hold on. Loading. I'll let you know. It's probably 1.3 something for sure.
Yeah, I kind of would venture to guess. Kind of exactly what we expected from the Yankees there. No Goldschmidt in the lineup. It is Trent Grisham, Rice, Judge, Belly, Jazz, Volpe, Jason Dominguez, which would be a fun little contrarian handedness scroll, and Austin Wells and Peraza at the bottom there.
Yeah, Grisham really fell back down to earth.
Yeah, I mean, we had a clear sample of them, right?
Shocker, I know.
6 bombs combined for that D-backs and Braves game. Holy smokes. Wow.
That's nuts, man.
That is nuts. Rep Boy rolling through death, taxes, and people drafting Skeens on days he's not pitching. It's so true, man. Nobody sees the big green check.
People just want their swaps.
They just want the, when you can draft Paul Skeens, screenshot it, share it with your friends, and then swap to Slade Ciccone. It's sick, dude. Gotta do it.
You have to. You have no choice but to do it.
Oh. Nez had a potential opportunity. I got the message yesterday of we got an Airbnb and we got the flights booked. Are you coming to the Stanley Cup Finals on Friday? And
you're going to the Cup?
I don't think I can swing it. I was we got some stuff going on. Reason I can't make the show tomorrow. I got some real life stuff going on for a bit. Nothing serious, but just like some stuff I got to deal with. And then yeah, I don't think I could swing it, man.
That's a real bummer, dude. That's a real bummer.
Would have been epic. My guy, Money Mitch, rolling through. Car Park's leading the PGA leaderboard. What a shocker!
No way.
This guy figured out PGA too. RBC Canadian this weekend.
It's only right, huh?
It's only fitting. Good Canadian kid like Car Park gets it done. Oh.
Do you have any scrambles or no? You're just albatross, right?
Yeah, I tether my my PGA knowledge to strictly majors.
Not a real golf guy.
Yeah, not fully entrenched, not in the weeds yet.
Sad. It's okay.
All the pitchers are running off the board here as they're prone to do. We could do some stuff with the aforementioned Rays here. Do note that we got some viewers in here who might be thinking the same thing. We got Bound in here. We got our guy Len Keith, aka Keith, and Red Guy Donkey. He's always hanging out too. He's got to say what up in the chat there. Respook's in here.
I'm dying to know what T-Bear's comment means. All right.
We could build Yankees here, do something a little chalky, or we could do like the Jason Dominguez scroll.
Can we take your Rays for God's sake? What are we doing?
All right. I'm good with it.
Let's go. Brandon Lau, check. Josh Lowe, check. Fucking ship it. You want to go Aranda before? Why not Lowe?
Because we got to get contrarian out here, bro.
Oh my God. Everybody's taking Cody Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm. Yep. I got to stack him with my Aaron Judge.
Like, you got to get contrarian, baby.
I will put it on the table right now. 50% of Judge lineups have 2 teammates on them. 50%.
Yeah, probably.
Like it's just not it.
We can flip it up though. Like we can do like Dominguez and Wells. Who else is doing that? Both have power. Both have the handedness advantage. Rollover stack from the backside, so they're correlated.
Okay.
Judge is more correlated with Jason Dominguez than he is Anthony Volpe.
Is that true? That's not true.
Oh yeah.
No, it isn't. Volpe can hit Judge in. Dominguez can neither hit Judge in nor can Judge hit Dominguez in.
Well, what are their lineup spots?
Yeah, they might not be what you think. Volpe is hitting 6th. Judge is hitting 3rd. Dominguez is hitting right below Volpe 7.
Okay, yeah, no.
You gal-brained a little too far into the solar system.
It's true. Yeah, I thought Dominguez would be like 8, and I thought Judge would be 2, to be honest.
I don't know if we have any strong double bubble spots on this slate, at least not on the surface. But like, man, how about the Spencer Strider beatdown that we just saw the other day? Is he like fully cooked? Do you think?
Nah, man, but the velo's down, and he's so reliant on having like the high velo to work off of that it's like it's kind of bad right now. The stuff doesn't
I
play as well with the lower velo. Both
I
him and
can't take him
Kirby
in
on
the
that slate, man.
uh-huh. Well, Kirby's been bad for a minute, but
They've had the same amount of starts.
well, yeah, but anyways, I don't think either of those guys are draftable right now in the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah, it's tough. I had the conversation on the show the other day when you weren't there of can you name a single pitcher who we had any injury concerns about in spring training or prior to spring training that is performing well right now?
I would have to. I'm not at the top of my head. Maybe Sonny Gray. I don't. I
Yeah.
thought there was something with Sonny Gray. He's actually pitching pretty well.
Sonny Gray, I don't think Sonny Gray had injury concerns in the spring. He just had like the worst spring imaginable.
I thought I remember him like not
He had
throwing for a
something at
minute.
the end.
Yeah.
We're back up on the clock here, Nez. I think Mitch Keller's in play for us, so we don't get caught with the total stone. And we got to fall on Jazz if we want to do the Jazz stack, or we can go somewhere else.
Let's look at outfield now that it's completely gone since we passed on Josh Lowe. Who are our outfielders that we're looking at here?
Yeah, morning slate for outfield was really strong. Late slate, not so much.
Yeah, shocker.
We can do one off O'Neal Cruz. We could do Grisham at the top of the lineup. I want to do Ben Rice.
I think I'd do Dominguez because he's the lowest. Oh my god, Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler. Is that real?
Official? Aaron Rodgers is Steeler. Official. About damn time. The whole world's been drafting it that way.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Steelers
fan rejoices. Live reaction. Steelers fan rejoices at thought of going 8 and whatever again. 9 and 8.
Who gives a shit?
Steelers fan rejoices at opportunity to sneak into wild card for 20th consecutive year just to lose 30 to 10.
4-time he'll fly to sign final deal. What man, what does the deal look like? What does the deal look like?
Oh man. Drafting against your own pitcher, eh, buddy? You hate to see it. What do you do here?
Smartest bound draft.
At least it's just a one-off. At least it's a one-off. Just don't double stack it. I will say it's a very if you're gonna play low volume and you're gonna play on a slate like this where combinations of scrolling and stuff are gonna be king and getting the GM is probably gonna take multiple drafts if you need it. Using a one singular one-off against your own pitcher is the 1-0-1 way to get contrarian to win this slate.
I just feel like there's just better ways to get contrarian, but yeah, it's more viable here than most times, but I don't think that makes it good.
Doesn't make it good.
Wow, Aaron Rodgers is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Here we go.
Can't wait to stack him with Johnny Smith.
Har.
Trent Grisham goes there. We still got Ben Rice on the table for us. This draft, man, this is back-to-back days where the draft has been absolutely crawling on stream, guys.
It's just too much to think about in baseball, man.
I'm so big brain. That's funny. Yandy Diaz to Keith as a one-off with his 4-man Cubs stack. Red Guy Donkey playing a little bit of a Yankees contrarian stack and then 3 one-offs. Christian Walker as a one-off. Jazz Chisholm comes all the way back to us, but I think I want to go. I think I want to go with Ben Rice here.
Where's Ben Rice hitting in the lineup?
Second.
Fuck yeah, take Ben Rice.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Nez, do we have any home run picks today for the pick'em lobbies? It's a tough slate to potentially find some, but we can take a little look here, maybe build out 1 or 2. We did a bunch of those NBA pick'ems already, but we could take a little look-sees here. Just be mindful there with these live ones. Scroll down. Ooh, Willie Castro. Matt Wallner's going deep today. Like,
yeah,
100%. I don't want to play it at a 1-9, but like Matt Wallner's like going deep tonight.
Yeah. No, that one feels great.
You want to know something funny that you weren't here yesterday? Played a little bit of a Cardi Bad X sanctioned pick'em, and the third leg that didn't get home was a lower on Jacob Wilson.
Well, I could have told you that. Why were you playing Jacob Wilson lowers, dude? Like, you just like
he sucks.
You are hilarious, man.
Oh man, we went 2 for 3 on the baseball, and we went 4 for 5 on the puck. It was a tough scene out there.
Because you rode with Blake and you faded Jacob Wilson. I mean, I could tell you where you went wrong.
2 cardinal lessons right there. There's something in the water. Dude, I low-key like some of these righties today for the Dodgers getting good prices.
Will Smith looks crazy, just fantasy point wise. I saw 5.5. Looks really good.
That's a good one. It's a good shout.
Yeah.
I liked Teo and Pajes and Edmonds from that side. Like, I think Edmonds might have 11 home runs, something like that, and 9 of them are from the right side.
Interesting. Okay.
He's low-key becoming lefty killer.
Okay.
Let's focus our attention to the late slate here. Just because that's what most people watching right now are going to be playing. Man, these Yankees numbers are so low. 2-2, 2-1-9, 1-9-2 for a Trent Grisham. Holy smokes. So they're really digging. Pick'em lobbies are really digging left-handed Yankees power today. So do with that what you will in the information category. Rays, we're getting like a 3 on Josh Lowe. Brandon Lau, you're getting a 2.75. That's not bad.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Homered yesterday. Misner, you're getting a 4. Is that the latest game on the slate, or we don't have the other ones up yet?
We don't have Cardinals and Royals. That's the
right.
last one by like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah,
it's pretty early slate.
Yeah, early finish, which is nice for sweats.
Alex Call with a 7.23 might get 1 AB versus a lefty. That's so crazy.
I mean, you're gonna get a rescue if he gets pulled from the game and he doesn't hit.
Let's shoot the moon on Alex Call and David Fry.
Okay.
In those like first 2. I love David Fry versus lefties. Maximum multiplier reached. We might not have to. Maybe let's save David Fry for a different one. Brandon Lau get us to the max? Not quite.
Still fun.
Okay, let's do Brandon Lau plus Alex Call. And then let's do David Fry plus someone. You pick the other one. Justin rolling through to share some love here, dropping off $2 at your door. Telling you that he's going to report to camp. Rogers sees on, buddy.
Thank you, man. We're stoked over here. We're absolutely stoked. James, you're not gonna like it, but just do James Wood, man.
Well, Yandy. Brian Reynolds love from Tyler. Okay, sorry. We were gonna do the David Fry, and then who do you want?
Just James Wood, because it's always James Wood.
All right, do that one, and then the chat one. Oh shoot, I lost the link. Here it comes. Nez, can you do that one and then share the link for me?
Which one was that one?
The David Fry plus James Wood.
Okay.
And then I will do the last one for the chat here. We're doing Brian Reynolds. Wow, 5.53 from the right side against Frammer. Holy smokes. Brian Reynolds and Yandy Diaz from our guy Keith with the 4X. Wow, those are some massive ones.
That's crazy.
All right. There's the Yandy and Brian Reynolds one in there. And then Nez is dropping off the other one. David Fry, James Wood. Do you kind of want to mix and match this with David Fry too?
We don't need to do this many David Fry pick'ems. I promise.
Dude, David Fry kills lefties. David Fry.
Max Fried kills. Max Fried is a righty killer though.
That's true.
It's kryptonite. It's unstoppable force, immovable object.
David Fry is the Patrick Wisdom of my generation right now.
I will never forget 2024 David Fry. I promise.
Yeah.
Kyle Tucker in the lineup. Let's go.
Oh, good, nice. I'm glad we got that news nice and early there, and it doesn't linger on in the slate. So Kyle Tucker's hitting second. All 4 outfielders in the first 4 spots, so that'll be hard to stack. Shaw and McGuire's in at the bottom of the lineup there. Everybody else is who you'd expect. So that's pretty good.
Nice.
Someone in the chat put out a really cool stat there for us. I missed it. I'm going to scroll up and find it as Nez, what do you think? Should we do the Greyhound and just do the one single bullet right now?
It might take a minute to fill, but you can try.
Okay.
Have you done your pugs?
Oh, buddy. I'm absolutely pugged out. I did all the pugs.
Congrats.
Okay. I'm hopping in the Greyhound, my single bullet. Oh, instant snap fill. Everybody's hanging out waiting. Let me see if I can. Come on. Better than this. All right. I am going to enlist the help of our friends over at Legendary Upside. Get our guys in here. Let me see if I can do that. Beautiful radio. All right. There we go. We are in business, Nez. I want to hit on this in the chat. I'm trying to see if I can find it. How far up was it? Paid said D-backs now move to 1 and 413 when trailing by 6+ runs in the 9th inning all time. That's crazy. That's sick.
Wow.
Love that. Love that. Yay. Oh man. Let's try one without cheating. It's simply assisting. I'm not that smart.
I thought you said it didn't even count as assisting.
Yeah, barely even assisting. It's just like Corain drafting with us, telling us what he thinks.
It's just Karain gently nudging us to take a Patriot.
Brett Boy saying that the contest of the Greyhound lasted 5 days in the lobby last year, so that's a good reference point for everybody who's trying to suss out when they should draft this one.
I think it was the same size as well, so I would assume that this fills faster than that.
Yeah. Lulz Hot Dogs is right beside us in the 11, aka the Dog Bowl champion of last year, first and second for 300K. Dude made almost $1 million playing fantasy sports last year. He told us when he came on to our show. So, dude, straight legend.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I would like to do that.
Chris rolling through telling us the Chell last night. Oh, buddy, we talked about it off the hop there. Just incredible puck. Incredible puck being played.
12 spots pretty fun, I think. I like how you can really choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. Egger said it was brutal. T-Bear says he likes it, and it's fire. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see.
Nico would have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good to just take the 2 wide receivers and see what happens.
Let's do Amon-Ra, and then let's think about this Brian Thomas pick for a minute.
All right. Amon-Ra's going to go first. Who else would you suggest?
Drake London.
No.
Aren't you worried about the week 8 buys, man?
I am not. I don't know, man. You want to pull Drake London up to that corner already?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have we looked into the splits with Drake London with Kirk Cousins versus with Michael Penix, like in terms of like target rates and stuff?
I haven't.
Yeah. I haven't read much on that and I haven't looked into it yet, but that would be an interesting one. Because there is some sharp alpha going on about how he dominated in the middle of the field and how he dominated like target share percentage, but I don't know what the splits were between the two quarterbacks when dominating that target share, you know?
What? Let's see when he took over. Let's do this right effing now. So let's pull up the Falcons. Kirk Cousins stopped playing football week 15, so we have a 3-week sample. 16, okay. 17, 18.
Before you tell me that, who did they play in that sample?
I don't know right now. One of them was the Panthers, but I honestly just don't think that we can afford to nitpick like that when we're already looking at a 3-game sample.
Sure.
All right. So, in the sample itself, Drake London had a 37% targets per route run, 39% of the targets, a 12 ADOT, and accounted for 50% of the air yards during Michael Penix's tenure as quarterback for the Atlanta Football Falcons.
That's fucking electric.
It is much better than it was with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, 25% targets per route run, 27% of the targets, 10 ADOT, 36% of the air yards.
Wow. They play.
I mean, Michael Penix is your guy. I'm not supposed to be you're supposed to be the good UW boy here, I'm the one putting on the cape for old Michael Penix.
It's true. You said 15 or 16, 17, 18 is when he started. Those were the weeks.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks of the season.
And then they failed to make the playoffs because they lost that overtime game against the Panthers, right? That's what the whole thing was. So they scored. Oh shit, are we on the clock? Oh
no.
I just got a year up on my watch and
a year up.
Making sure. Must be a slow draft. Okay. Oh shit! Now where did I lost it now? Oh, there we go. They beat the Giants 34-7. They played the Commanders tough and lost in overtime 30-24. If memory serves, though, that was the Marcus Mariota game. Let me see. It was not the Marcus Mariota game. Okay, not that it matters really, but just throwing that out there. So they played the Commanders tough and lost in overtime by a score, and then they played the Panthers tough 44-38 and lost by a score. All right. Dude, Penix put up some numbies.
Dude, he chucks that shit. He's so aggressive.
Yeah.
It's the best.
All right, Kyron goes there. We got Brees. We got Mike Evans. Who do you like, Nez? 20 seconds.
I think Brees.
Brees has
another
one.
bye. Is that a week 8 or week 9?
9.
I can't remember.
9.
Okay. 9.
I say we take Evans here.
Okay.
ADP slap it up just to make Chip happy or make GA happy.
Yeah, I could go a lot of different directions with the Mike Evans pick. Definitely feel safe. I don't think that we're going to get a huge drop off if we get one, but hard to imagine, we get a career year out of Mike Evans. But I think him over Tet is a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I think Tet would have been my next favorite there. Also, given the fact that we have Brian Thomas. I mean, we could have done cheeky something and set up the Hunter plus Thomas one.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Man, do you think Hunter is Hunter still on the board? Yeah, it seems like he's falling a little bit more in these drafts.
Yeah, I wonder why. Makes one good play in OTAs at corner and everybody's head.
Well, the ADP chasing guys keep telling people that he's playing both ends of the ball, and I think it's scaring people.
Yeah. Only plays like 70% of offensive snaps or whatever. Somebody in one of my group chats the other day bet him for MVP. I was like, that's bad, but if he's the first player ever to be like top 5 at both positions or top 10 at both positions, they might give him like sympathy MVP in his first year. But betting anyone other than quarterback for MVP feels so bad.
Yeah, Scott Barrett, I think, bet him too. He put down $500 on him to be MVP. Like, as long as Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen are in the league, like, it's not happening.
Brandon got to see Michael Penix's debut when he slapped his Giants. Seems good, dude.
It's an important question.
Was this the guy who bet the Spurs to win the NBA championship?
Is it?
This guy's not as rich.
Well, he's not rich anymore. He lost all that money.
I think he'll be fine. He martingale the shit out of that though. And when they traded for Fox, he like tripled down.
I was gonna say, yeah. Wow. They didn't even make the playoffs. How did you martingale?
Kept going. Man, I'm gonna be the Jalen Waddle sloppy this year. I like that price tag, that 53. I like this George Pickens contract year, best quarterback he's ever played with narrative too.
George Pickens will probably be my highest drafted quarterback this year.
I respect it.
Or wide receiver, sorry.
Wide receiver. Yeah, I respect it. All right, let's see what happens here. Ken Walker goes Henderson, Godwin. Let's take Addison. It's like way more fun.
Okay.
Take Addison. And then we could do, and it's got week 17 with Amon-Ra. We could take Laporta and set up the Goff thing. We could take Henderson or Montgomery. Who do you like? Olave?
Montgomery.
I think I like Montgomery more than Henderson too.
Yeah, I have way fewer doubts about the Lions than I do the Patriots.
Right. Yeah. And like I don't even know if he's gonna be like getting any lead role or anything, right? Like Ramondre's just nice with it still.
It is a very very weird situation. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miles
it's
Straw double. Hyman double. Bo Bichette home run. GG's.
who was on the mound for the Phillies today?
Jesus Luzardo.
It wasn't really. Man, he is full pumpkin, huh?
Yeah, potentially. Jack saying after Pickens goes, he slaps Juwan every time. That's interesting. I don't know. I was talking about Juwan the other day with my buddies, like in real life, and they're just like they couldn't even guess like his ADP when we were playing that ADP game or whatever, right? Because he's just like he seems pretty far out there. I have no idea what to do with Pearsall, Ayuk, and Juwan. And I think it's like a good show of confidence that they gave Juwan the money and he didn't get shot. Like maybe those are good things.
And didn't tear an ACL either.
And didn't tear an ACL. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle big time. I struggle big time with those guys. Ayuk is definitely being middled right now, where he can go higher or lower based on his news, and which obviously means that those other two guys can go higher or lower based on Ayuk as well. So like, and Ricky didn't do much until he did, but he was a first round pick. So like, and there's no Debo there now. So, I think it's tough.
Josh pointed out something good on their show the other day that like the whole like zone versus man beater narrative of like Ayuk and Debo still holds true with Ricky and Juwan because like one's better at one than the other. I can't remember which was which, but I just found it interesting because that was a narrative for so long of which guy beats which coverage, and it kind of seems like these two just slide into that exact same mold.
Mm-hmm. Juwan, yeah, I man, I want to believe Juwan is legit. I think I'm just kind of slowly getting talked out of it. Like, man, is it just like, am I just getting ahead of myself because I just saw it, but like,
right.
He was really good. He was really good, but man, they were decimated.
Yeah. Even then, like I looked back at his game logs when we were talking on the weekend about it. How many games do you think he had over 100 yards?
3.
I think it was 1. Let me double check my math. I think he had one big one early on, and that was that. He had
We're about to be on the clock.
He had one. He had one game. He had 2 games north of 7 catches and 1 game north of 90 something yards. It's telling us TJ Hawkinson for some stack equity here, and that
I like Hawkinson.
Yeah, that's kind of like a monster week 17 stack for us now, where we don't even really want Goff on this team anymore. So that feels good. And then Josh Downs gives us a stacking option. What about if Isaiah Pacheco is just the dude again?
Yeah, I'm looking at this Ayuk pick, and it's kind of, now that we're kind of on the topic, but let's do Pacheco. I'm cool with that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, just to like, play a devil's advocate. I mean, if you want to move the threshold to 88 yards or more, you're looking at 5 games with 88 yards or more, and 5 games with over 10 targets. Yeah, it's 27 years old.
Yeah, like low draft capital guy, late breakout. They've obviously known what they have in him and know that they like him. just interesting. It's a really interesting situation.
40 fantasy points against the Rams, though, will live forever.
Yeah, that was the 170 and 3 game or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11, 170, and 3.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like he
Jesus.
had what? How many yards did he have on the season? Like 900, 890, 900, something like that.
975, almost 1,000.
Yeah, and almost 200 came in one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
975, 77, 975, and 6 touchdowns.
interesting.
Good for essentially wide receiver like 25.
Yeah. Now he has better opportunity in theory, or he has the same opportunity as the tail end of last year.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I think I'd
I'm
rather
not.
have
I'm not getting
Waddle.
more. I'm not getting more excited about him. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I think I'd still rather have Waddle and just like shoot the moon on a guy that I think's super talented. Justin rolling through again. Appreciate you, bro. He says, how high does DK go now with this new news? I think it was kind of baked into his ADP, but we see Baby J in here. Go ahead and take him at 43. So there you go. Baby J.
Yeah.
Baby J was a dog bowl participant. I don't know if
Not
it's
that one.
if
No.
it's the same numbers or not, but Baby
No.
J was a original dog bowl participant.
There's like a million Baby J's on here.
Okay. Yeah, so 43, where do you think that should go now, Nez? Do you think it goes above Devonta Smith? Does it go above Travis Hunter? Or was it just kind of baked into the price already?
No, I think he's gonna rise. It's just the way it's the way things go, man. Like there's always a little bit more room to rise when news hits, you know? So you gotta buy the rumor, sell the news, and he's gonna go higher now. But it doesn't mean that I want him now that Rodgers is here. You know, I'm still not super stoked about it.
Yeah, truth. All right, Nez, we're about to be on the clock here after Lulz Hot Dogs takes Jonnu there. Dude, I'd be a proponent of taking Mark Andrews and shutting it down. I'd also be a proponent of Rashid Shaheed. I would also stack a quarterback. What do you like?
Shaheed out of those options.
Who did you prefer more than those options?
Well, Shaheed. I like Shaheed in general. Goff probably makes sense here with the team correlation.
Even though it's David Montgomery team?
Yeah, even though.
Okay. I think if I'm on my own there, I think I take Mark Andrews and I push it, and then I try and take JJ and Trevor Lawrence with the next 2 picks. But I did talk about it on the show yesterday a little bit. I think this is a super nice sweet spot right now, rounds 9, 10, 11, to get either 2 tight ends or 2 quarterbacks in that range. And Los Hot Dogs agrees by going with the double tight end there. That little pocket of like Andrews, Jonnu, Kelsey, and then the quarterbacks that run off feel like really good to me.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just like not. I'm just having trouble clicking Mark Andrews right now, but maybe I need to fix that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the MVP at quarterback. So should have been 2-time MVP at quarterback. So, yeah. I mean, Bateman re-signing there. Flowers, I don't know. Flowers is just Flowers. The expected touchdown stuff will probably regress because it was so propped up. It propped up Mark Andrews in a big way last year was the amount of touchdowns he scored, right? So
yeah, like he just it wasn't. Yeah, I mean it's still a fine ADP for him. For me, I like taking like tight ends in the rounds 17, 18. So like just kind of putting that in the back pocket is what made me overlook tight end there, considering we already had Hawkinson.
Yep, that's fair. I mean, we could still add one to this roster or 2 to this roster late. I'm good with that. Especially if there's targets that you like. I just don't have like a ton of guys that I like late that much, but then also recognize that like tight end scoring like largely just doesn't matter. So if we have one and then we add like 2 guys who have 70% snap jobs, I mean we can just fall into touchdown variance. Ooh, I like this show from Austin, dude. Steelers sign Keenan now. That'd be fucking tight.
I think I'd be okay with that. I think I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah.
Like
they're telling you they're going for it right now, right? With like not trading TJ and adding Rodgers. You're going for it. So what's the harm?
And as far as landing spots go for Keenan, I mean, clear cut number 2 for targets, like where he signs. There not a lot of landing spots where that's the case. So I would be okay with that. And Keenan is one of my all-time favorite players. So having him on my favorite team, even in a washed form, is fun.
Yeah, no, fully agree. I like that.
Although let me recant my statement. He is not washed. He's just a little bit older than he was whenever I really liked him.
Yeah, Nick's right. Steelers are always going for it. They're always going for that 9-8, baby. All right. Spears goes there. We could do the McCarthy thing, but I'd rather not. Just because I don't want the same quarterbacks from week 17. So I really like Trevor Lawrence and then picking a tight end here. But what else?
I was going to say McCarthy, and we can take a third quarterback if we're worried about it, just because we have so much capital. Ugh.
We're still going to take a third quarterback.
I know, but like, man, he would have made a lot of sense.
Then let's take McCarthy as well.
Okay. I don't think it's a bad turn. Like, I know it's a lot of QB capital, but I am the guy on record of saying I like taking QB capital. I think it's okay.
Pocket. Dude, it's a sweet little pocket for it. To take 3 in a row between 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Get a little De'Ami Brown backstack.
Sure. More than happy to do that. I also think Njoku's underpriced there. That's who I would have pounded the table for. And then you can make it a 2 tight end build. But if you have a 3 tight end build, it also would have opened up the door to do like Shuck plus, back stack with Juwan Johnson. Or you could have done like Bryce Young a couple rounds from now and then done Sanders in the last round. I guess with the new shoulder development here for Anthony Richardson, like the path for Daniel Jones looks a little bit better. So those are cheap back stacks too. You like Jones and AD Mitchell. You can do Jones and whoever, man. Alec Pierce is back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jones is going to be, man, I've got a bunch of super flex slows going on, but I don't know if they're deep enough for me to pull the trigger on Daniel Jones yet. But he is a ultimate target right now. Jones and Rodgers both opened up as like awesome, like cheap options. I mean, Rodgers is always an option, but
yeah, cheap super flex options that are going to rise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you look at the super flex environment right now, where like Anthony Richardson was quarterback 28, I think it was, at like pick 64.
Yeah,
like where do they? Yeah, but like where do these guys go in tandem with that narrative now?
Where does who go?
Jones and Rodgers.
Like right there, like pick 100, probably even higher. Like Richardson's about to go to 0.
Yeah, well, I mean not 0 in Superflex, but definitely like lower than that.
He's gonna go to like ADP 20, like around 20. He's got a shoulder injury. Like if he doesn't go to around 20, it's a mistake.
Yeah, ADP is just so sticky that like he's at 64 right now that there's no way he falls past like 100.
We'll see how much time there is, because like if that's the case, that is just having one person take Richardson top 100 is a reason to get in these drafts, because that is a dead team.
Strange for the stack feels good here.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. We could probably shut it down at tight end if we wanted to with that.
Yeah, I'm just making sure the bye weeks don't overlap. We're good there.
Let's take
And
quarterback
then
off the board just so we can see a more true representation of who we can take here.
we got Hall, so we don't want Allen. Roshan Johnson here.
Eckler?
Eckler.
You cool with Eckler?
Yeah, I'm fine with Eckler.
Okay.
I think maybe I would have taken. Nah, we got Evans, so McMillions is kind of like we don't really want to make that bet. Dude, I think I kind of like this team right now.
I do too. Like we have a lot of capital spent at wide receiver, and they're good. They're good picks. You know, they're good players. We got really good capital at tight end, and it's like, you know, with the bow tied on it with JJ McCarthy, where it's like if these guys hit, JJ McCarthy is a smash. So those are bets well made. We have good running backs.
Yeah.
Like I like this team a lot. I think we could make this team like 3-5-7-2 ?
3-5-7-2. Yeah, I agree with you. That's exactly where my mind would go, right?
Or is it 3-6-7-2?
No, 3-5-8-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
GA pointing out we now get a Love versus Rodgers game. That's pretty fun. Pittsburgh plays. Let me see. They play Green Bay in week 8. And it has a primetime asterisk beside it. So it's going to get flexed to primetime for sure. Kentucky's chill, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's enough auto drafters that the ADP will be sticky enough. To be fair, like a shoulder injury for a guy that, like, you know, people weren't really jumping up and down to get already with such a small sample size. Like, he should fall, but he still is like the same pick range as like QB 35 right now. You know what I mean? So where does QB 35 and Superflex go? Let's see. He basically flips with Daniel Jones. So 212, 213. Oh, that's regular. That's not Superflex. My bad. Flacco goes at 163. Would you rather have Flacco or have Anthony Richardson?
Neither. Probably Flacco.
What about Milroe or Richardson?
Milroe.
What about Dart or Richardson?
Dart.
Yeah, so he would be like 150s. So he should still get drafted. He just should go 100 picks lower.
Dart is not a good pick either, to be fair.
Yeah, depends who you ask. Like, it's Davis's highest owned in Superflex. So I don't know. That's more like a bet that the Giants are going to stink and he takes the job, right?
Top 100?
Yeah.
God bless our good friend, man.
I'm interested to see who the sidekick is going to tell us to take here. Shocking development that a Patriot has moved to the top here. I like the De'Ami Brown pick a lot. De'Ami's right here.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Do you like Demario Douglas or do you like Keenan Allen?
No, I like Keenan Allen.
Do you like him more than Demario Douglas?
Yeah.
Another week 8 bye. It's also suggesting a tight end. I don't necessarily think. Do you like Giddens or Demario Douglas or Lloyd?
Giddens.
Fuck.
Or Pop Douglas.
I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, that's funny. All right, John. I got a dip. It's 3:00. Bria's got a hair appointment. Baby Mello needs my help. Can you possibly land this plane with the last 2 picks? It depends on you.
Let's go with how would you land the plane with these last 2 picks? Would you take 2 running backs? Would you take we have a 3-4-7-2.
And let me see the last wide receivers.
fucking Demario Douglas. Stop it.
No, I think I would probably go 3-5-8-2.
3, 5, 8.
Dude, J.K. Dobbins would have been a great pick.
Yeah, that would have been a great pick. We done fucked up.
Nah, who's available at running back?
Lloyd, Neal.
Please click the running back button on the underdog.com app, brother. Jesus Christ. It's right there.
I'm just scrolling this one. The sidekick's fun.
Wow. What if Blake Corum is Kyron Williams?
Say again?
What if Blake Corum is Kyron Williams?
He's got another
Miles
week 8
Sanders.
Miles Sanders? You like Miles Sanders more than Nick Chubb's potential?
I at least Miles Sanders is signed to a team. Kind of like Ollie Gordon. Or maybe Kendra Miller. Yeah, you got this. You got this.
I don't think that I do. All right. Peace out, bro. All right. Let's see if we can land this plane without Nez. I think this team might need 2 running backs. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. GA is asking where the game is. Okay, the game is at Pittsburgh. Green Bay goes at Pittsburgh, which is kind of a shame. That game would have been sick at Lambeau. Did Rodgers return to Lambeau? He surely must have, right? I don't remember right now. Peace out, Austin. Appreciate showing up. Likes the stream every day. He looks forward to it, but does he like it? My guy T-Bear telling me people are sleeping on Higbee. That's good. Noah was asking how far that A-Raj moves up. I don't know. He's still a 17th round pick in BBM. Superflex is a different conversation. But if we just go... I mean, he could probably just take Richardson's ADP and 1v1 Sam Darnold versus it. I think I'd still rather have the ceiling of Cam Ward. We're on the clock in a million different drafts right now. Oh, no. Oh, no. We need a running back. Brooks. Let's shoot the moon on the Bengals stuff. Taj Brooks, out of nowhere, wins the job. And now we need either a wide receiver or a running back. Sidekick's telling me tight end. Nah. Let's scroll the F down. Dante Thornton, baby. Let's go. Scrolling all the way down on the Vegas wide receivers. Someone told me about him like a long time ago, and I've just kept him in the queue. We just took 2 zeros with the last 2 picks. Nez is going to be so proud. We went all in. Wow, Marshawn Lloyd at 203 is just like so much better a pick than Taj Brooks at 204, right? It's pretty close, I guess. Taj Brooks could have a little bit of ceiling. All right, guys, I'm going to tie a bow on it. That's our single entry. Nez was making fun of the Jackson Dart pick. Our guy loves hot dogs, thinks differently, and adds a third quarterback Jackson Dart to this. He did the Michael Penix thing. So we like that. He took DJ Giddens when we should have because I clicked the wrong button. But let's lock this one down. A 3-5-8-2. Goff, Lawrence, JJ, Brees, Montgomery, Pacheco, Eckler, Brooks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas. Nez wanted London. Probably should have taken London. Although I do like this Lawrence double, man. Lawrence double feels good. Evans, Addison, Shaheed, De'Ami Brown, Demario Douglas. It went off the rails at Demario Douglas. I didn't want Demario Douglas, but the sidekick likes him. So I'm bullish on it that the sidekick likes it. Dante Thornton as a scroll the F down. And then TJ Hawkinson and Brenton Strange. On the sucks or fucks scale, this one absolutely kind of sucks. It's all right. It's all right. It's like a 6.4 out of 10. I think we needed one more running back to make it feel better. I don't know. Every team I draft, I justify taking Taj Brooks. I just panic and I just click Taj Brooks because it's like lower down than the other names. Makes me feel good. All right, guys. Let's tie a bow on it right there. That was our single entry. That was our Greyhound. Oh, we're still waiting for all those slows to finish up, get some more drafts done there. Best of luck to everybody in the baseball streets. Best of luck on the pick'ems. Enjoy the NBA Finals. Game 1 this evening there. Then we'll have some puck on Friday as well. I think it's going to be a Nez solo run tomorrow, but we will decide in the morning. I got a couple appointments that I got to get to. But yeah, there will be a big baseball slate tomorrow for sure. And then whatever else Nez chooses to do from there. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Maybe we run a little members only at some point. Prior to then, leave the light on for it. But yeah, enjoy the games tonight. Best of luck. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.